A few days ago I actually already recorded this video, but it turned out that my opinions have changed during this period of time. So today I'm going to give you an updated look at how to deal with solo raid Mother Whale. Alright, let's get into the game. So the first thing you have to know about solo raid Mother Whale is that this very much is a DPS race, especially when it comes to the first part of the fight. At the beginning of the fight, you're going to see core and 3 pots on each side of Mother Whale. You must take out the core as quickly as possible, preferably before the first shield appears, without which you're quite screwed. This right here is one of the more high damage dealing teams. You're going to want to use a team like this for each of your slots. I'll give you narration as I do each of the things, alright? So first things first, you're going to want to take out the core. Focus fire all the way on the core. Boom, 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 boom. If you don't take out the core, you're going to have to deal with the Mother Whale's ability to level up all of the Raptures that she summons right here. Boom. So without taking out the core, Mother Whale is going to buff them, and each of them can only take 1 damage at a time, which makes them very difficult to deal with unless your entire team is machine gunners. Next, she's going to continue by summoning all these guys. These guys also get the exact same buff if you didn't take out the core. But if you do take out the core, they can take normal damage and then you can do damage quite easily. Here, Mother Whale is going to do an electric shot the laser shot that shoots out like infinite lasers all around. That damage is related to how many Raptures are left on screen. So if you didn't take out the core at the beginning of the fight, it'll be more difficult and slower to take out the Raptures that come down. The small Raptures that come down, being slower to kill makes it so that this thing does more damage. So if you can break the core right at the beginning, you have to. You absolutely have to. So you can see how much damage the entire team takes right here at the bottom of the screen. This part is a QTE that doesn't immediately make you fail. However, you want to be able to do this QTE so that you can do more damage faster. Once you do this QTE, Mother Whale is going to slump over. When she slumps over, she's going to build up the pots on the side, the left and right side. Take those out as quickly as possible to maximize the amount of damage you do. So that's one side. And then we go over to the other side. Okay. Here, we're going to go into a QTE where you need to use the sniper rifle. Let me show you. Oh. 3, 4. If you hit any of the white circles, you're immediately dead. However, what do you do if you don't have a sniper on your team? Let me show you. In the settings, on mobile, tap sync, tap and crosshair. Save. This way, you can tap left side of the screen, right side of the screen, and your cursor just follows. Turn off sync, tap and crosshair later if you don't like it. Of course, ideally, while I was showing that, you should be dealing damage to Mother Whale. Alright. There's some parts of Mother Whale that don't seem to take damage around her belly area. Keep note of that. Once again, take out all the ads. Very nice. Not taking out the ads at this point in the fight will cause the damage from this to be way higher. Take these out. Take out the pots. And then just go all in on damage. Very nice. Towards the last part of the fight, you can actually ignore the Raptures because there's not enough time for them to start dealing damage to your Nikkes. So just go all in on Mother Wheel. And that's how you fight Mother Wheel. Pretty easy. Now this brings me to the next part of the tutorial. What teams should you use to fight Mother Wheel? As always, the teams that you use to fight against a solo raid depends on which characters you build. I'm gonna give you my recommendations. Feel free to tweak it according to what units you have and what units you don't have. So let's take a look at the teams I think most people should use. The first team is this one, featuring Crown, Siren, Rapid Red Hood, Eve, and Treasure Helm. Remember, it's important for you to have Treasure Helm because she both heals, increases your damage output, and just overall makes the run much easier. There is also an alternative to this team where instead of using Treasure Helm, you might want to use Mid-Mast.
Is it time to set sail?
If you're using Mid-Mast, you're gonna want to burst once, twice, thrice. Once, twice, thrice to maximize the damage output as well as the reload speed of your entire team. However, I do feel like that team works particularly well when you have a very invested account. But if you are somewhere in the mid-range, that team becomes very difficult to play. So this is the team that I recommend for Team 1. For Team 2, I'm running a shotgun team, a slightly unoptimized shotgun team. If you wanted a fully optimized shotgun team, it should look a little bit more like like this. Tove, Leona, Dorothy Serendipity, Bunny Soda, and Drake. Treasure Drake. Treasure Tove and Treasure Drake. This team is your classic shotgun team, however, it has no healing. And for most players, playing this team is not very practical, not very reliable. I recommend instead of using Leona, you might want to put someone like...
Is the festival already over?
Naga.
That's too bad.
So that she at least buffs your team's attack a little bit, and at the same time she also provides healing in the form of her skill too. This is what I recommend. Alternatively, if you find this still too difficult to play, you can also play the classic Blanc and Noir version of the team. This version of the team has much more sustainability than the previous one featuring Naga. However, the damage output for this team is lower by like 1%, 0.5%, somewhere around there. Alright, next up, Team 3. Team 3, I use Litter, Mid-Mast, Mid-Anchor, Bunny Milk, and Treasure Julia. So this team basically takes advantage of the fact that Bunny Milk has really high attack whenever she bursts and really high pierce damage whenever she bursts. You don't really want to put her with any of the pierce buffers such as 8 or such as Grave. Instead, you want her to gain extra damage output in the form of crit damage, crit rate, uptime via ammo, etc. So Mid-Mast, Mid-Anchor, both of them really help out Bunny Milk. Similarly, Treasure Julia benefits a lot from high crit rate. So by having the two maids help her out, her crit rate goes up drastically. Very nice stuff. Also, the reason why I'm running Litter here instead of Volume is because Treasure Julia gives herself plus 20% attack and that's it. So she actually does need some attack up support. That's why I'm using Litter here. On the flip side, if you don't want to use Litter, you can always use Volume to form a team that looks like this.
Let's get this party started!
but personally I feel like Lita seems to be working better for my setup and my team. I recommend trying out both for yourself. So for Team 4, I'm using Treasure Milk. I know, unpopular choice, I know. Grave, Red Hood, Treasure Laplace, and Summer Helm. Red Hood is the classic Mother Whale killer. Burst 1, Red Hood, Burst 2, Grave, and then Burst 3, Red Hood. Bam bam bam, straight into the core is the classic easiest way to defeat Mother Whale. On this team, however, we have Summer Helm, who gives us a plus 25% damage taken increase to Mother Whale, and also because neither of these characters really buff their own attack by much, Treasure Milk buffs 1, 2, 3 of your highest attack characters. The pierce damage buff on Grave's burst also impacts Red Hood's burst as well as Treasure Laplace's burst. So all in all, it's just big burst damage all day long. The reason why I'm using Treasure Milk here is because I don't have a healer that has cooldown rate in burst 1 slot that also buffs the team. Now if you build your Treasure Milk enough, she actually gives a lot of healing to all your characters and a substantial amount of buffing to your top 3 attack characters. So that's why I'm using Treasure Milk. Also she has cooldown rate reduction. Not bad. And finally we have the last team, which is Tactical Emma, Tactical Unwa, Tactical Vasti, just normal Raven, and Mihara Bonding Chain. It is my opinion that Emma and Unwa are super underutilized and super underlooked by most of the community. They give charge damage up, so that comes in the form of charge damage and charge damage. Emma gives a very substantial 10 seconds times 40% attack up. Unwa gives damage taken up 30%. All in all, this entire team just synergizes very well together. There's going to be a day long in the future, maybe 1 year in the future, where Vasti is completely unusable, she's just too weak. But that's not today. Big damage all around in this entire team. The sustained damage from Raven, as always, amazing. Mihara's sustained damage as well, super amazing. Now, there's one thing that you might struggle with here, which is Raven versus the QTE. If you're playing on mobile and you have your auto shooting on, whenever you let go of Raven's shooting when you're trying to hit the QTE circles, you'll find that she auto drifts towards the center of Mother Whale. To solve this problem, all you have to do is turn off auto shooting while doing the QTE. So you're gonna manually go there, shoot, let go, shoot, let go, shoot, let go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also, with this specific team, if your absolute team is not built enough, you might have a little bit of trouble destroying the core. If that's the case, build them a bit more, I guess. One thing that you might find very surprising when playing with this team is that Emma's healing is actually very substantial. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it while playing this team. One thing that I do wish for this team is to find a way to cut out one of the characters to fit in a CDR character. But at this point, I'm not sure who that would be. So that is my Mother Whale guide, my updated, super up-to-date, new tech Mother Whale guide. Oh, but there's one more team that I would like to point out before we end the video. Take a look at this. So if you have a fully built Snow White and you have the characters to fit her, i.e. Treasure Miranda and Maxwell, this team might be extremely valuable to you, extremely viable. Essentially what you're aiming to do is, using Snow White, you want to pierce the 3 side ports all at once, and the main body of Mother Whale at the same time. Doing so, you're going to get 4x damage of Snow White. My Snow White is not built, but I just want to illustrate the viability of using this version of the Snow White team. Alright, first we build burst.
Need more ammo. I'm going all out. Push it to the limit.
Build this up. 300%, 600, 700, 800. 300%, 600, 700, 800. 415 million damage immediately right at the start of the fight. This is not a fully built Snow White. So if you have a fully built Snow White, 100% you should go for this team. The team works very well, and it really takes advantage of pierce damage to do very good damage. So yep, there you have it. That was my recommendations for Mother Will Electric theme. Hopefully that helped. Thank you guys very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Physics, jiggle, physics, jiggle, physics, jiggle, physics, 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 physics,